Welcome to Costa Rica. For the last 3 months, we have been in both Nicaragua and Costa Rica. We are currently here in Manuel Antonio for final debrief, where we will spend time as a squad, debriefing, processing, celebrating what the race has been, and in 4 to 5 days, we will head back to the States. I really love Central America, and so these past 3 months have been some of my favorite. We went to Nicaragua and I got to partner back with a ministry I had worked with before on my own race, and it's Reap Granada, and I felt like I was going home. It's crazy because outside of being home for 30 days, being at Reap Granada was the first time in 20 months that I had felt at home. While we were in Nicaragua, we did a lot of really awesome things like prayer walking, sports ministry on Sundays, and farm work. But one of the most influential things that happened while I was there was my friend and long-term missionary Nathan asked me, "What is home?" That was a question that I had never really thought about before. Lots of people had asked me, "Where's home?" And I would essentially tell them I had been homeless for the last however many months I had been traveling, and no one necessarily asked me, like, what is home for you? I got to step back and ask myself, why does Granada, Nicaragua feel like home? In sitting with that question with the Lord, I realized that home for me is not a place. It's not a destination. It's not even a specific group of people, but home for me is somewhere where I feel safe, somewhere where I can let my guard down, somewhere where I can be unashamedly, fully, authentically Taylor Mackenzie White. So as cheesy as it sounds, as cliche as it sounds, home for me is with the Lord. He is the one that I can be fully, unashamedly, authentically myself with. And so wherever the Lord is home. Whenever I'm with the Lord, I'm home. And that is such a freeing feeling because the Lord is constantly with me. So I never have to worry about what other people think of me. I never have to worry about missing out. I never have to worry about feeling unsafe because everywhere I go, whoever I'm with, wherever I am always home, and I get to make the people around me my family. Another concept I wrestled with a little bit was this concept of being chosen. I was confused because I know who I am in the Lord. I know that I'm a daughter of the King. I know what the Lord says about me, and I believe it. And I know that the Lord chooses me, and I know that that's enough. But I found myself being sad because other people weren't choosing me. I was confused because if I fully knew that the Lord chose me, then why would it matter if nobody else was? And I realized that I didn't fully believe what the Lord said about me. You know, whenever your mom says really nice things about you, but it doesn't align with the circumstances in front of your face, and so you end up just telling your mom, "I don't believe what you're saying because nobody else believes this but you." That's how I felt with the Lord. I found myself thinking, well, you're my dad. Of course you say those things about me. Of course you think that way about me, but nobody else thinks that. And he said, yeah, what if nobody else thinks that? Is it still enough that I chose you? Of course, I'm not going to tell God no. And then he started laying out for me what it actually means to be chosen. We have been chosen for inheritance and salvation and the fullness of the presence of God. But we have also been chosen for persecution and struggles and trials and pain and fighting for other people when they don't fight for us and choosing other people when they don't choose us. Me being chosen means that I have all that I need from my Father, and I don't need to be chosen by anybody else. Another thing that happened in Nicaragua was that I went volcano boarding with the majority of the squad, and I ended up injuring myself. I tore my meniscus in 2 places and my MCL in 1 place, where I ended up having to get surgery on my meniscus. This has been one of the most painful seasons of my life, both physically and emotionally. For the month leading up to surgery, from when I got hurt to when I had surgery, I was in so much pain that I wasn't able to sleep at night, and I would get nauseous throughout the day because my body would be battling such excruciating pain. As physically tolling as that is, it's also just emotionally tolling. I was so frustrated with not being able to go to ministry, with not being able to pour out the way that I felt like I could because I was in so much pain. So we moved from Nicaragua to Costa Rica and ended up having surgery, found out that insurance wasn't covering any of it, and then I also found out that I wasn't going to be able to do ministry for the rest of the race. And that killed me. Why am I even here? Why am I even a squad leader if I can't go to ministry with them? If I can't lead by example the way that I'm supposed to, what even is my purpose in being here? But the Lord kept reminding me, I want you to stay on the field. I want you to stay on the field. This is exactly where you're supposed to be. And so I stayed. And I am so glad that I stayed, because through this whole process, the Lord has taught me the most valuable thing. He told me, Taylor, it's not about what you do. It is 100% about who you are. It is my presence that pours out through you. It is my personality that pours out through you. It is who I have created you to be. You living in intimacy with me and allowing me to overflow out of you. And that's enough. It's not about what you do. It's about who you are. And now we are going home in 4 days. If I had to sum up squad leading in 2 words, I would say worth it. It was worth every second, every relationship, every hard conversation. Everything about squad leading was worth it. I love them a lot, and I am going to miss them so much, and I have no idea what I'm doing with my life next, but what I do know is that every single one of them were worth it. So that's it. This is my 3rd and final video as World Race Gap Year S squad leader.